Hey Dennis, how you doing? This is Christian down here in Santiago, Chile, doing my entry to your contest. First of all, congratulations on achieving 2,000 subscribers. That's awesome, awesome, awesome. I can a couple of month ago you were having another cool contest, showing again great stuff, and this is a really good one. This is a really good one. It's related with the number two. Show the second release from some bands in our collection that we think it's as good as the debut or even better. You show great stuff. Your collection is out of this world. Is awesome. But I think I have a couple of good things. I have not seen any other entry so far. So I won't be. I don't know, being influenced by other choices, or maybe I was trying to show something different. I don't think that these are very very different from many things that you will be seeing in, and I think a lot of entries you will have to your contest. So without further ado, here I have a couple of them. Those three cassettes, one CD, and a couple of records, vinyl. I'm trying to show and try not to spend too much time of your time or any other guy who wants to see my entry. First of all, I'm going to start with some old tapes from back in the day. This one is to me is really this one was the first I thought when I was thinking about what bands to show in your contest. This is a major step up from the view. The view was almost like a solo effort this guy did when he got the deal in Europe in the early 80s. It was almost a solo effort because I think he almost wrote all the songs by himself, and the band was put together when he got back in the States and realizing he had to have one band to go on touring and to fulfill the contract he has with the record label. This one is from 1985, I think. Yes, I think so. This is Dawkins Tooth and Nail. This is my cassette from back in the day. I still don't have this one on any other format. I really want to have this one. But this is a major step up from the debut. It's way much better. The songs are more well written. The performance of every guy is really awesome. I think George Lynch shines in this one. Without warning, the instrumental in this one is really great one. Yeah, I think it's much better than Breaking the Chains. Although I think Breaking the Chains is an awesome song. I think it's one of the best songs they have, or at least Talking have written, and it's a great tune. So that's my pick number one, Talking Tooth and Nail. Of course, this is my OG from back in the day. As you can see, everything is written in Spanish, good old Spanish. Next, let's go with this one. Oh, another one. It was pretty obvious. This one, I'm going to show my cassette from back in the day because this one I used to play many times. Although I did not discover this band with this release, I discovered with the next one, their major album that helped them to achieve a different status in the new wave of British heavy metal. Yep, there it goes, Maiden Killers or Asesinos, as it says here. Sorry about the glare. This one is really good. Is it as good as the debut? Yes, maybe, or yes, no. It depends on you. I think it's really as good as the debut as the self-titled. I really like some of the instrumentals here. Transylvania is an awesome one. Wrathchild is another killer one. The Ides of March, it's a great intro. Prodigal Son, Drifter, Genghis Khan, Another Life. Innocent Exile. This is an all killers, no fillers. Is this as good as a debut? Yes. Is it better? Maybe, maybe not, or yes. It depends on you. But this is my second pick, Maiden Killers. And the third cassette, this is without a question. I think it's much better than the debut. The debut is it's glammier. It came at the tail end of the 80s, and so you can tell that this band was put in that same with that same level of a glam band that came out from that era. But this is much heavier, much grittier, much hungrier, much much heavier than, and it's Skid Row's Slave to the Grind. This is of course where the band, I think they realized this is the type of music that we want to play. Not saying that the first one is not what they wanted to play, but I think here they achieved what they really wanted as musician or as a band, and I think the songs are a tad better than on their debut. This is of course my cassette from back in the day. This is Skid Row and Slave to the Grind. Next, let's go with the one CD. Although I really like the debut from this band, and this one I think it's a little bit better. This is one of the heaviest bands that came out in the 90s, in the early 90s. They add the heavier sound, the more not the punkish approach or the classic rock approach from the 70s to the grunge scene. I think Alice in Chains Dirt is a little bit is better than Facelift. Yes, great songs, all fillers. No, maybe the only one is that that kind of instrument. It's not instrumental. That noisy song is here. What is the name? I can't remember. But that's the only thing I don't like about this one. Just to be a perfect 10 out of 10 album. This is with that in the set list is a 9.5 out of 10. But although this is a great one, is it as good as Facelift? Yes, it is. It's a little bit better. Yep, maybe. But to me, it's not as perfect as it could have been without that song. Younghead, I think. Yes, Younghead. Yes, that is it. But that's my pick number 4. That's Alice in Chains and Dirt. Now let's go with some records. Let's make this one speed up, 8 minutes. This is a classic band. It's a classic artist from the 70s. The debut is really awesome, but I think this one is much better with a couple of great hits that became huge classics. And I think you can still hear them play on the radio. This is Santana's and Abraxas from 1970. Great stuff, of course. Oye Como Va, Samba Pa Ti, two great traditional things that were rocked up by Carlos Santana and the band. Because this is my early Chilean copy from 1970. This is mono stereo. You can see there it goes, very flimsy. Okay, let's go. Number 2. This is one from 1979. I think it's better than the debut. It's not as punkish, not as urgent as the first one, but I think it is another step up in the band trajectory to achieve bigger records, bigger production, bigger songs, and bigger sales, and bigger tours, and bigger as they were, they hate each other. This is the Police second album, Regata Blanc. I think yes, it's much better than the debut, Orlando's D'amour. But although this is another one, great stuff, the Police. Let's go with this one. One of my favorite bands from Los Angeles. I think this one is as good as their debut. Maybe a little bit better, but all the songs are great. Rat Out of Invasion of Your Privacy. I think it's a little bit better than Out of the Cellar, great songs. You're in love, never use love. Lay it down, closer to the heart, right between the eyes. What you give is what you get. Put it, got me on the line. You should know by now that's an awesome, awesome song. And dangerous, but worth the risk. This is my Argentinian copy. Everything is, as you might think, in the 80s translated to Spanish. So there it goes. Next, let's go with this one. One of my favorite, yeah, all my favorite bands. Um, this is as good as the debut. No, I think it's a little bit weaker in some things. The production may not be as good as the debut, but I think this is also a really good one. This is Fastway, second album, All Fire Up. Of course, we have late Fast Eddie Clark, Jerry Shirley, and David King, and now they have a bass player. Where it goes? There it goes. That is credited in this album finally, but this is a great one. Great one. Not not as good as the debut, but still a great album. Fast Way, All Fire Up. Next, here we go with the second album by Tesla, another great one. I think this is a little bit better than the Mechanical Resonance. Of course, this is the Great Radio Controversy. Great stuff. This one is on the Geffen label, I think. You have the inner. Let's see. Yes, this one is on Geffen. This is really dusty. I need this to give it a proper clean and give it a play. Give it a spin. I have not listened to this one in a while, but I think this is a great one. I think first three, even four Tesla albums are mandatory in any late 80s hard rock music, and this is another great one. Tesla with the Great Radio Controversy. Okay, let's go with yeah. This one is a classic, and I really love the artwork as well. This is Flotsam and Jetsam with No Place for Disgrace here on the here on the Electra label, I think. Yes, the Electra label. Yes. Great stuff. I think this is maybe the only thing that brings this one a little bit down is that cover of Saturday Night's Light. Saturday Nights All Right for Fighting. Why? You don't need to have that one in the set list, on the playlist, or in the track list. Sorry, that's the word I was looking. They could have another cool song, but you don't need that cover. Maybe the record label was pushing them to have a song to be played on the radio. But this is another great one. I think it's as good as the debut Doomsday for the Deceiver. But this is also a great one. I always love the artwork from this one. Just Flotsam and Jetsam, No Place for Disgrace. Okay, finally, the last two ones. This is I'm not counting the EP this band had previously. So to me, this one is their proper second full length they had. To me, this is a step up from the previous one, because here they added a singer vocalist that is so distinctive to this type of music, that helped the band to achieve bigger things and help to create a new style of music that has been preferred as Iron Maiden on steroids, adding more speed and more epicness. I don't know if that's a word, to heavy metal, and it's power metal, and it's Halloween, Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2. Of course, yes, I think the addition of Kai Hansen it's a key element in the trajectory of the band, because he's I think although Kai Hansen is a good singer, he's not as good as Michael Kiske. Did I say Kai Hansen before? Yeah, I don't know. I think Michael Kiske uh, is the key element in this album. And of course, the songs that are really well done, very catchy, very happy, adding some kind of irony and happiness and feel good to heavy metal. This is on the RCA label, and I think that helped the band to achieve big things with this one, with Keeper One, with Keepers Two. Unfortunately, after Keepers Two, Kai Hansel left the band, and they had some. They did not have two good albums after he left. Then Michael Kiske left the band. Andy Darius came in, and it took some albums to the band to catch up with they were doing in the early 80s. But to me, this is a great album, and I think I like this one a little bit more than Walls of Jericho, mostly because of the vocals of Michael Kiske, and I prefer them all over Kai Hansen singing, because he's not a very talented singer as Michael Kiske. But although he's a really good one, you if you like Gamma Ray, as I have a couple of things, you can tell he's a really good singer, but he's more a guitar player than a singer. So this band needed a lead vocalist, and they found one with Kiske. So there it goes, Halloween, Keeper of the Seven Keys, Part One. And my last one is the second album from 1982 of the big band, the biggest band in the Spanish heavy metal scene. They were they were huge here in Latin America, and of course in the homeland Spain. This is Barón Rojo and Volumen Brutal. This is the second album. This is much better than Metamorphosis from '81. The songs are all classics. Um, they play this album almost from start to finish when they perform live. I think this album has 10 songs. I think they play at least 8 songs on every live set. This is their masterpiece. There is no argument, no question, no discussion that this is much better than the first one. The first one is really good, but this one is much better. That's why also this one it was recorded in English when they figured out when the record label find out they were selling big and being asked to participate in big festivals in the early 80s. They took them and re-recorded this album in English. It's not so good in English, and you don't get to understand or the meaning of the lyrics. The lyrics are really good for us who speak Spanish, who understand and get the meaning of some of those songs. The translation are very good, but it's not as perfect, of course, when you sing in your own language, and the heavy Spanish accent. It it can be a little bit annoying for some guys. So, but please, if you don't know this album, please give it a try. There's the Spanish version and the English version. Try to get any of those, and trust me, you won't be disappointed. So, that's my final pick. Yes, those are my picks. I think I got more than 10, 12, I think. But as I was going through my collection, I said, "Oh, this one is really good. This one." So I have to cut it at some point. So this video won't be as long as it's going right now, almost 20 minutes. I think that's more than enough. Dennis, thank you so much for having this contest. I'm sure you will be reaching more than I don't know 3,000 subscribers in a very short time. Thanks for having this contest. Hope you like my picks, my choices. If for any reason you don't know any of those bands, I don't think so. Please give it a try, especially Barón Rojo, and you won't be disappointed. This is Christian down here in Santiago, Chile, saying goodbye to everybody. Till next time.